So we're gonna see what happens. We're doing the Rebel canning for these. So they will not be going into the water bath canner. And we're gonna see what happens. See if they shrink up as much as the other ones. And I'm hoping that they don't, because these are the ones that I'd actually like to give away as gifts and or sell. Because I'm eventually gonna have a little roadside stand and I'm super excited for it. I do a lot of canning. Okay, so we were given 4 flats of all of these baby cukes yesterday from that free place. And we gotta do something or a few recipes with these babies. So I just picked this up the other day. I figured it would be the easiest way to do a bread and butter pickle recipe. And I had to look it up because there's nowhere on this that tells you how much to use, really. But yeah, you're using a 1/4 cup of the mixture. And this is what it looks like. And the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of white sugar and 2.5 cups of white vinegar. And it's a nice sweet brine. My lid's heating up in here. Got our jars here in the oven. They're clean and they're just getting heated up and sterilized for like 20 minutes. You can add some crushed chilies too, or any type of heat that you want in there if you want heat. These ones I'm just gonna leave plain because Alex doesn't really do heat. And the next batch I will be spicing it up. And bonus, Alex just came in and we have puffball mushrooms in our yard. Totally awesome. Edible. But do your research. So I just cut the little ends off. Put those into a little thing inside for the chickens. And go about that thickness. You could also add like sliced onions in here if you want. I also make jars of pickled burger fixins, I call it. So I'll have to make some of that too. I think it's exciting getting all of this free produce. You're also able to get 15 huge turnip yesterday. Some free dog food, 4 cases, which is totally awesome. Those jars are going to be hot, so you want either a grabbing tool or towel or some gloves. I'm just going to do one at a time here. Get it over to the brine. You can use a funnel. You don't need to though. It's not like it's a cucumber. I'm going to use a funnel just to make it easier. And when we get that brine in, you're not going to want to get it all over the jars. So the funnel's the easiest way to do it. Want to leave a 1-inch headspace in there. Pack them in a little bit. How's that look? Looks pretty good to me. Alright, we got our brine heating up. Okay. Funnel sterilized. We're gonna get these babies to, it's hot, so be careful. I lifted the jars out with a cloth, dishcloth. You can use gloves or a lifting device too. And get them in there. Alright, looking good. I always turn my funnel upside down or put it on top of another jar. Sterilized. Avoid any type of contamination. Ready for our brine to go in. Let's see that. So you got some cloves in there. You kind of want to space them out into the different jars. And we go. There we go. 1-inch headspace. Move that over to the next jar. And usually what I do is I just give it a little spin and look for air bubbles. So down here, we got some air bubbles happening. Come on, camera, focus. So we're going to have to get our little poker tool to get those air bubbles out. And I don't have one of those special handy dandy ones, so all I use is a skewer. Sterilized. Get in there, get the bubbles out. And we're looking pretty good. See how much they shrunk up already? Just with adding the hot brine. So I just want to make sure there's nothing sticky on the rim. Just in case, just wipe it with vinegar real quick. I guess I could add some more cukes in there too. Alright, now we're ready for a little ring. So this is just a magnetic tool that we use in the garage. It's specifically now used for canning. Okay, so all I do is I pop the ring down here. I just shake off the excess water. Get that on there. Okay, now with the ring, I don't want my lid to be rusty, so I wipe that out and just blot the top too. Going in, finger tight, and then into the hot water bath canner. So once I get them all in here, yes, I misplaced my little lifty outy thing. So this works. You just have to have something at the bottom just so that your jars are not sitting directly onto your pot. So once I get them all in here, then I'm going to top it up over top of our jars, and then we will be water bath canning. I haven't even topped this off yet to start the water bath canning, and I want you to see how much they've shrunk in there. Okay, so they're cooking in there already. Now, I don't like how they look with the open space at the bottom, so I'm going to attempt to do something else with the other 2 jars while I get these ones water bathing. So these are now, I can add a little bit more water in here for 15 minutes, high heat. So what I did was I added the cucumbers right into the brine. We're gonna let them cook in here, and we're gonna do a little bit of a rebel style canning. When you open up a jar of the bread and butter pickles, you can really smell them. Now these things are cooking and they're smelling like bread and butter pickles, baby. Oh yeah, I had to cut up some more cukes though, because they're cooking in there, and I was afraid I wouldn't have enough to fill 2 jars. It's coming along. If it starts boiling over, just turn it down. Almost ready to jar up. I think this is going to turn out better this way, to be honest. No big gap at the bottom. Just give it a little shake. Those pickles settle down in there. Still leaving our 1-inch headspace. Now I just got to get some extra juices in there. So all I'm going to do is tilt my pot and use the back of my ladle to get more juice. A little bit more. There we go. Time for the lid and the ring. Tilt that gently onto the next jar. Give it a little poke. Release the air bubbles. Wipe our rim. Something white stuck to the top there. There we go. Shaky on there. Okay, so we're going on tight with this one because we're putting it upside down. This is rebel canning. See, jar nice and full, no gaps at the bottom. And we're going to leave it upside down for 5 to 10 minutes, okay? And it was actually my godmother who taught me how to can, rebel canning style. Super cool. And look at this, I'm not going to have enough to completely fill this jar, so I know for next time. But it'll be close enough. Okay, so I'm taking these jars out of the water bath canner, and then we're going to see what happens. Make sure our 2 rebel canning jars seal and our other ones seal, and we're going to see which one looks the best actually at the end of it all, and will there be a difference? We'll find out. Alright, it's the next day. All 4 jars have popped down. I've removed the rings off the ones that we've done the water bath canning for. Clearly, the rebel canning style looks like a full jar. Beautiful. These ones, I don't like the space at the bottom. Everything's looking delicious though. So, which style would you go with? I think I'm sticking with the rebel style. Thank you for watching. Keep on doing the things, folks. As I mentioned before, I do a lot of canning. Pressure canning and water bath canning, and I've never had any of my rebel style projects fail. So do I trust it? 100% I do. You just gotta make sure all your stuff's sterile. That's all. Sterile everything, and you gotta make sure that your jars are hot, your lids and rings are hot, your brine is hot. Turn them upside down, and you're good to go.